So, thank you for participating in my What is Logic video project. So, for this assignment, I am going to be just talking to you about what Socrates constituted as wisdom and some of the things that went on in the Apology. So, first question to you. What do you think constitutes wisdom?
Well, I think that wisdom is the ability to be aware and apply knowledge in an advantageous way. And I also think that wisdom has to do with the ability to think and analyze and entertain thoughts and opposing ideas and nuances without necessarily accepting them as true.
Well, that leads really well, actually, into what Socrates had to say about wisdom, which was sort of the recognition of human ignorance and a sort of a rejection of the idea that wisdom is solely the accumulation of knowledge. So, what do you think about that?
Socrates said that wisdom was the acceptance of humanity's ignorance.
Mm.
I think that I would have to agree with Socrates on that one for the most part. But I would also have to say that I think there is an element, at least in my view, of wisdom that comes not just to a mental state of being or awareness, but also an application of that awareness or the acceptance of the lack of awareness, rather, in everyday life or just into reality outside of the mind.
I would say I agree. On the idea of application. So, in the apology, it's related that, uh, you know, Socrates himself felt that Athenian society, uh, he makes the metaphor of it being a sort of complacent and lazy workhorse uh, with the potential to be, great and moving, but lacking. And he says that I am that gadfly which God has attached to the state, and all day long and in all places am always fastening upon you, arousing and persuading and reproaching you. The idea kind of also correlates with, in this day and age, freedom of speech has become a bit of a popular topic given the death of a political activist a few weeks ago. And so, my question to you, whether you agree with, you the person or not, um, do you feel that there is a necessity of these sort of uh, gadflies, these uh, attackers of the status quo, these pestilent and maybe antagonistic people who uh, attack in a philosophical way our culture?
Well, absolutely. I think that there will always be a place in society for mavericks, agitators, and just sort of rebellious thinkers in general, because it's very hard to fight against the status quo, I think, in a lot of cases with human society, or sort of like the cultural zeitgeist at that time. Because I think that humans find just the status quo and routine comforting, and so it's very hard for us to break that, or rather easy to fall in, to sort of taking philosophical or cultural notions at face value rather than really assessing them for their validity or value. And sometimes it does truly take a quote unquote agitator to offer an alternative insight or way of thinking about things that is actually able to potentially solve problems, or um, offer something else to society. Um, but of course, when I am referring to this, I'm not referring to violence, but rather like philosophical discourse and sort of agitators in terms of academia. And
Thank you.
hopefully that made sense.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate you.